What's up everybody, welcome back to the second video of the channel. Today we're going to show you guys how to change and flush the coolant on your E36. We're going to show you every step, everything that you need, every tool that you need, and the size of every socket that you need. It's actually a really simple job, and considering the cooling problems these cars have, this is a very good thing to do. So let me move the car and get right into it. So the supplies you guys are going to want to purchase is right here. I purchased this off of FCPEuro. It is BMW's own antifreeze and coolant mixture. If you guys get undiluted coolant, you guys are going to have to, do the math on the specifications that the coolant brand gives you. And you're going to have to mix your own coolant. However, this, I believe, is already mixed, so we're not going to have to worry about that. This was ordered off of FCPEuro. And this is 3 gallons. This is the blue coolant that everybody recommends. And as a bonus, while you're doing a coolant change, you might as well flush your whole coolant system. So go along and purchase 3 gallons of distilled water. They're 99 cents each. It does not hurt to do this. You might as well run down to your local superstore and pick up 3, just like I did. So this is all you need to do your coolant change. There's no filters. You don't really have to get any crush washers. This is all you need. And so let's get right to it. So for the first step, we're going to want to jack up the car. The bolt is actually really easy to get to. If you guys aren't slammed in the front, then you might be able to do this without jacking it up. But I like to jack it up just to give myself extra clearance and to make this a much easier job. Once the car is jacked up, you're going to want to get your jack stand for extra safety, a bucket to catch all the coolant draining out, and a nice mat to keep yourself from scratching yourself on the floor. If you have a lift, obviously you won't need this. We're going to jack it up. Just get your cardboard under there, and I'm going to show you exactly what bolt to untighten. The bolt you're going to want to unscrew is right here. It's right at the bottom of your entire radiator. This is the driver's side of the radiator. This is the bolt you want to undo. As you can see right there, you can do it with a Phillips screwdriver. You want to unscrew it, put your pan right underneath it, and drain out the coolant. So the purpose of the jack stand is to save the car from possibly falling on you in case the main jack fails. So my favorite place to put it is right here under the lower control arms. We're going to get that placed right there so that in case it falls, the suspension will take the fall for you instead of the entire car falling on you. Okay, perfect. So now we're going to get our pan to drain out the coolant. We're going to place it right underneath the plug right over there. And then we're going to go and untie it and pray to God that we don't get any coolant on your driveway. Now you're going to want to be careful because this can get very messy very fast. So now we're going to keep the car jacked up just on the side to get all of the coolant to flow down to that side, just where the plug is. We're going to leave it on the jacks and we're going to let it drain. We're going to go into the hood now. We're going to take off the cap for the coolant tank so that air can escape through the top and this should drain out faster. The cap to the radiator is right here on every E36. We're going to take this off. You can hear air escaping and more coolant is actually falling through the bottom. You can actually hear, I'm not sure if you guys can pick it up on camera, I'll show you right now. A lot more coolant is coming out now. So now we wait for it to drain, and the next step is going to be to fill it with distilled water and run it for 10 minutes in order to get the water to flow through the whole block and all the pipes and to flush out any unwanted substances. So now that the coolant is fully drained, we're going to put back our drain plug so that we can put distilled water in it and run it without it spraying everywhere. You can take your coolant out from the bottom and you can drop the car. Keep in mind that there is still some coolant left in the engine. To do a full drain, you're going to need to take off the back plug from the block. That's too much for what I'm doing right now. So this is going to help take out some extra coolant if you don't want to take out the plug block either. So you're going to put in your little funnel here. We're going to throw distilled water and fill it up until it's full. So once you've poured enough water in here and it looks about full, we're going to need to get in the car and we need to turn on the heater so that the heater blower can actually empty out all the coolant that's inside of it. And you're going to try to turn on the heater So my heater unfortunately does have issues, so I'm gonna battle this for a minute. Once you have some of your water poured in and it's almost full, we're gonna give the car a quick start just to circulate some of the coolant. As you can see, our levels kind of went down. That's my dad helping me right there. But as you can see, our water levels kind of went down. We're gonna be pouring more water in right now as the level decreases. Once it's full, once you see some splashback, you're gonna keep pouring, make sure it's topped off. The entire point of doing this right now is to wash out any gunk that was with the old coolant. Once we have the water in, as you can see, it's filled to the top. We're gonna let the engine run. We're gonna let this water get through everything, get everything cleaned out, and then once this warms up for a little bit, we're gonna drain everything and then put in our new coolant. And of course, there's no need to bleed it right now for air bubbles, since this is only temporary and we're just flushing it. We're gonna be bleeding it once we have the OEM BMW coolant inside of it. If you guys have a working heater, you're gonna wanna turn the heat on full blast. It's gonna help the coolant drain out of the heater pump, which is a lot of coolant actually sits in. An alternative is to just keep running the motor. I'm gonna keep turning it off and on. The coolant level should keep going further down and down and down. The coolant levels keep sinking, so we're gonna keep doing this until the level is full and it won't go any lower. So once you're done filling it with distilled water, we're gonna turn off the car, and now we're gonna jack up the car and repeat the whole first process again of draining everything from the radiator. Now you're gonna wanna watch out because now the coolant is actually gonna be hot since it was running through the motor. As you can see, everything is draining. Just like the first time, we're gonna sit and wait until everything is gone. Obviously, you can repeat this as many times as you want. For our video, we're gonna do it about 2 times because for the next video or for the previous video, we're gonna be doing a huge road trip, so we kind of want this as safe as possible. We have 2 more gallons left. Because we didn't do the back plug, there's still some coolant left in there. We're gonna do it one more time just to ensure more and more coolant gets out, so then we put brand new coolant in, there won't be anything to dirty it or infect it. So as you can see, we have drained it and it's still really green, even though we poured in clear water. This means there's still a lot of coolant left. We're probably gonna do this 2 more times, use up all the distilled water we have. We do have 2 more gallons left. We're gonna keep doing this until we've used up our 2 gallons and until the coolant coming out of our reservoir is completely clear, or as clear as we can get, and then only then are we gonna put in the new coolant. Obviously, you guys can stop whenever you want, but we're gonna do this several times just to ensure we get everything out. So our 4th flush, it is basically clear with a green tint. That's good enough. Now we're going to show you how to put new coolant in and to bleed the system for all air bubbles. So in order to bleed the system from air, we're just going to remove this screw right here. This is meant for bleeding air out of the system. All you have to do is unscrew it just like that. I'm going to take this out and now pour in your new coolant right there. So now while the car is running, we're gonna keep pouring in new coolant. All air bubbles will be coming out of the hole we unscrewed. Keep the car running, keep pouring coolant, and wait until all bubbles stop coming out. So guys, as you saw, we left it bleeding for a very long time. The bubbles were slowing down, so I decided to call it there. You can honestly go as long as you want until there's no more bubbles. On a later date, I'm going to redo this entire thing anyway, so I don't need to go to that extent. All you got to do is put in the plug, tighten it down, put on your cap, and you guys are ready to go. That's really all it takes to change the coolant in one of these things. These are very notorious for their cooling problems, so this is a very good thing to take care of. You know, you could really mess up your cooling system if you have old bad coolant in it. So you're just going to eliminate a possible suspect for the cooling system failure and just get this out of the way. Remember, use OEM BMW blue coolant. It looks cooler than the green one and everybody trusts it. So that's it, guys. Your coolant has been changed. Please like and subscribe. It costs nothing for you. It only supports the channel. Every like we get, every subscriber we get only helps grow the channel. We can get in touch with companies, get good reviews for you guys, good installations, and the builds can get crazier. So please like and subscribe, help out a growing channel, and I'll see you guys next time.